first light of morning shone when Prince Rayan looked toward the distant sky, as if something had been lost from his heart. Princess Liana held her locket close to her chest. A long-forgotten memory stirred within her heart. Kuro circled around the palace in the sky, as if watching over his two beloved friends. In front of Rayan was written, "The day the moon cries, the fire of hearts will blaze." In Liana's eyes was an untold story, bound between love and longing. The kingdom celebrated with joy, but worry shadowed both the prince and his friends' faces. Liana's lips quivered. An old tune once again reopened her wounds. Rayan secretly looked at Liana. She smiled, and a storm rose in his heart. Kuro heard something carried by the wind, as if fate had written its own story. Under the moonlight, the two met. For a moment, everything stood still. Rayan said, "Liana, if fate had allowed, I would never have left you alone." Kuro watched them in silence, because some emotions cannot be expressed in words. Liana's tears saddened even the moonlight, each drop breaking a promise. Rayan set out on his journey, to save love or to destroy himself. He did not know which. Kuro promised to stay with Rayan, no matter how dark the paths ahead were. Liana prayed, "Protect him, even if it costs me my fate." Rayan stopped at the edge of the forest and said, "From here, the paths of love and death both pass." Kuro felt the color of the wind. Some dark shadows were following them. Lightning flashed, and Rayan drew his sword. There was no turning back now. She looked toward the sky, feeling as if Rayan had been lost somewhere in that very storm. Kuro gave all his strength for the one he considered his human. Blood was flowing, yet in Rayan's eyes there was still a light, Liana's name. She heart-burned, as if a part of him had broken far away. Kuro tore through the sky. His scream was a declaration of love. He fell to the ground, and the sky wept. Kuro shed tears like a human for the first time. Liana's tears fell amidst her prayers, each drop turning into a plea. Kuro spread his wings and shielded Rayan from the rain, as if one soul had embraced another. Rayan opened his eyes and saw Kuro crying. For the first time, even magic had broken. Liana said, "If my prayer is true, send him back." Light began to pour from above, as if Liana's prayer had knocked on the heavens. Rayan took a shallow breath and said, "I cannot lose now. She is waiting for me." Liana felt it, as if the wind had spoken her name, Rayan. The paths were long, but the light of friendship still shone between them. Kuro had found the way. His heart knew the direction of love. Talks of war filled the court, but in Liana's heart, only one battle raged, between fear and hope. He saw people were burning, and so was love. The world had turned its face from them. There was fire in Kuro's eyes. He had made a decision. As long as he breathed, Rayan would remain safe. Liana lifted her sword. Her lips trembled, but her eyes held a light. He touched the ground. It was the soil mixed with the blood of her people. Liana took his hand in hers. Both were silent, yet their hearts spoke. Behind an old wall, he found a path, the way back to Liana. Kuro shouted with joy, "Rayan is found! He's found!" He was returning, breaking through storms. For love, Liana wrote, "If you don't return, I too will forget how to shine." Rayan took a step and fell. The journey was complete, but love was still unfinished. Kuro looked at his face. He smiled and said, "We have returned, my friend." Liana said, "I told you, love cannot be defeated." Her tears glistened on Rayan's face. He opened his eyes and said, "Now I am complete, because you are here." Liana took his hand in hers. Both were silent, yet their hearts spoke. Kuro closed his eyes in peace, as if he had found his family again. They walked, leaning on each other, and for a moment, time itself stood still. Kiro laughed for the first time, and his laughter filled the palace with light. Rayan said, "Even if the world burns again, I will never lose you, and I could never even think of leaving you alone," she whispered softly. Kiro watched, pride in his eyes, as if he knew this story was now about to be complete. A new piece of news shattered their peace. The war was returning. Rayan said, "Now I will fight not for love, but for justice." Liana looked at him, and her heart was saying, "This time, come back." Kiro watched them from the sky. The time for war had come, and his heart grew heavy again. He walked away, and Liana was left listening to his name in the winds. She closed her eyes and made only one prayer: keep him safe. Rayan lifted his sword and said, "This war is not for revenge on love, it is a promise of peace." Kiro spread his wings and protected Rayan, once again, without fear. Liana touched the spot on the map where Rayan was fighting and prayed. Between the two swords, there was only one moment, and that moment mote destiny. Kiro's scream shook the sky. He was not fighting just the war, he was praying. She felt it. Something had gone wrong. Her heart broke into two pieces. Rayan did not fall. He only paused, not from wounds, but under the weight of love. Kiro said, "I am here until the very end." He lifted her sword and said, "This is for my people, and for my love as well." The light embraced them both, as if love and loyalty had become one soul. The locket's glow faded, and a silence awoke in her heart. Kiro left, but a blue light remained in the sky, as if Rayan and Liana's story had become eternal. Liana said, "If his spirit is anywhere, let me feel it, even just once." She touched the locket, and a faint light brushed her, as if Rayan had returned. Rayan's spirit held her hand, a wordless expression of love. Kiro watched quietly, as if he knew this was their final meeting. "Now go, but take my heart with you," Liana whispered softly. Rayan's lips moved, and the wind heard only one word: forever. Kiro took one last breath, and all his memories rose up to the sky with him. Morning had come, but the night in her heart still remained. Liana became queen. She turned her tears into jewelry, and her pain into strength. She said, "This kingdom cannot thrive on power alone, but through loyalty." Even in the darkness of night, she found the path where it all began. She wrote their names on the tree, and said, "Now we will always remain here." Kiro returned, this time in the form of a drop of light. He said, "You both have shown me that loyalty never dies." In the embrace of night, the light of love shone, as if the world had breathed again. Those moments of life came to mind when laughter was the greatest gift. The three of them were together, and the world seemed completely whole. She closed her eyes, and every memory became a prayer. Morning said, "Loyalty and love never fade." Every child asks, "Were they really here?" And the elders smile and say, "They still are." Liana looked at the sky, and every star was calling her name, Rayan. In one corner of the sky, two stars met, one love, one loyalty. She closed her eyes, and a wave of softness passed through her heart. The first and last feeling of peace. The night was silent, yet every corner told a story of the three souls who are still together. Under the tree was written R and L, and beside it a blue light shone. Love never ends,